by this clue, or we're not sure what could it be. We're not sure about this thing 1,000 times. But they're not on stable and no air brakes. But very unfortunately, the CSX 8888 there's a switch, and he was trying to think about how about this runaway. It was amazing and never ever know. It's a very freight train, such things that happen know. It's a very important runaway. While he saw the switch, he was trying to go chop down his locomotive, but it was not slowing down. Maybe it should be know how to figure out about the runaway. The thing is, I have no idea about the way of this, but he saw the switch, and he just trying to do something he had to do. And he had to do what he had to do. But you know, the air brakes are very important to think. The air brakes were not on, but it will speed up. But you guess what? The very important of the locomotive is the CSX. But this thing was very more than, jeez, this guy is useless. But well, he set off the train to slow down. But it's kind of weird, isn't it? But this is like only in the freight trains can go slow down from runaways. But you think all this, the craziest things of that you think, but I love air trains and trains in America and Amtrak's. But the air brakes were not on. Maybe they don't know what's going on because about this. But you know, CSX 8888 was traveling, but then the man just slipped down, and then he slipped down the locomotive, and no one's in there. It became a runaway. The CSX 8880 is speeding at 50 miles per hour, and the driver had asked the dispatcher from the way that he had to do. He had to, for the February 12th, the 70 yards processing the very important rate, and the dispatcher had to check what runway could be for the runaway CSX. It was traveling over 50 miles per hour to 60, and we're not sure about the runaway CSX. In 1:57 a.m., it was CSX was going out very fast for the police. But you know, it was says to derail. They tried to derail the CSX train, but it didn't. It didn't work. But then the runaway CSX was very important and dangerous. But this man was running away. The thing, shoot to kill. But this is very important to shoot for the runaway CSX. Unfortunately, while they shoot it, it didn't work. But fourth, you think that, in fact, the runaway CSX can teach us about this. But you realize the runaway CSX cannot never figure out about this. Well, he was trying to jump on the locomotive, but it didn't work at all. Meanwhile, in another way, there's another locomotive CSX was the engineer. He was named ST40-CSX9392 was waiting out when the runaway comes at few moments later when the runaway comes. Unfortunately, while he saw CSX at 5 when the train roared past the sidings and it was traveling, but 8392 has chased after the runaway. Another engine, CSX 6008, was ready to push her back to the CSX 8888. Is it really like that, isn't it? Well, not bad, but just what I thought what that thing says. But Avery Naidoo has finally coupled, and he used the brakes and slowed it down very slowly. And it is very important and very heavily to slow the train down from way, and CSX 8888 was slowing down to 11 miles per hour, and the train and and the train master just jumped to the CSX 8888, and he trying to go inside the cab, and he shut down the engine. And finally, the Crazy 88 is over. Unfortunately, everything is over now. It's a very crazy 8088 incident all times. But when the runway stops, the CSX 8888, the wheels are burned, very unfortunately. But unfortunately, the CSX engineers all the times. But it was an engineer, RRD, we are not sure it was work from in 1968, and Penn Central on 1996, and CSX transferred for 2001 January. But you know what? He is fired for CSX. But CSX 8888 was sold and kind of in 2009, sadly. But in 2012, CSX was kind of sold and was returned to service. But unfortunately, 2017, they repealed into ST40-3 and renumbered to CSX 4389. And that weird SpongeBob SquarePants is a very crazy things I ever seen. But A392 was returned and sold in the National Railroad, NRE. It's been 21 years since this incident, and we're not going to forget, in 2010, they made Unstoppable. Isn't that the kind of weird, isn't it? But it was awesome. But this is not we're going to think. We're not going to think again. We are not going to forget. This is not going to happen. This Crazy 88 isn't it forever.